series. I did not get the boy's name that played Jeffrey Dahmer, but he's also an actor on American Horror Story.
Evan Peters.
Evan Peters, yes. I have to say, he did embody the character pretty well. He's pretty good at playing these types of roles. If you ever seen him on American Horror Story,
this motherfucker better get an Emmy for this shit, because like,
yeah,
I mean,
he really, I almost thinking he Jeffrey Dahmer, but he really, yeah, he gonna get something for. He really did a great job. Shout out to Evan Peters. Shout out to Niecy Nash as well. She was excellent.
Yeah, he does a great
as
job
well.
Too, yeah.
Her emotions. Oh my God. I just loved it. The acting perspective of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, her reactions, especially like when she's questioning the cops about, like, you know, as far as like, yo, like, you let this guy go, like, did you interrogate him?
Her passion.
Did you even see her, like, yeah, like the her acting, or like how she's portraying her character? I felt like any one of us, if we were in that situation, like, we would react the exact same fucking way.
Oh, of course. Somebody right.
So like, it felt like it was so real. So
yeah, it did.
It's not the only time that she's done something like this. She is an Emmy award-winning actress for When They See Us.
Yeah, that was good.
And that just as well. So
that was an excellent. That movie had me. Oh God, that was jerking at my emotions, because all I kept thinking about was my own son.
Just as well.
But the movie Dahmer, it really it goes into so many different segments. They even go as far back as to Dahmer's childhood. What it was like for him growing up in his environment, his relationship with his father, his distorted and abandonment relationship that he had with his mother. Just the whole, do you guys think, I felt like there were so many different messages in this show. If anyone hasn't seen it and you want to check it out, it is on Netflix. Just the injustices that were kind of, I felt like the fact that the police were so passive. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but the one scene where the police actually went into his apartment after the first victim got away, and they didn't really like look around for real.
The 14-year-old.
The 14-year-old boy.
Yeah.
They didn't really.
Definitely giving shit
away. They didn't really look around. They didn't really look under. They didn't like. They were so passive about it. And like, you know, if you guys like, remember when they even made a reference about if they were doing drugs or something like that? They were just kind of like passive about everything. Yeah. Now, you know, if that would have been a person of any other race, it would not have gone down that way.
Yeah. Well, like, it was a mixture. I think it was a mixture of things. It's like, you know, obviously, like, yeah, they weren't too like hostile with them because he was white, and also like they came off as like a gay couple, or they were a gay couple, because you saw like, what was the first thing that the cop said before he went inside?
Oh yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Before he went inside the apartment, he was all like, "Do you have anything in here?" He's like, "What?" Because I'm gay or something, and like you saw like the cop's face. It's kind of like, all right, well, he's homophobic.
He used that. There were a lot. Someone in the King Shady said, "I don't see too many messages." I felt like there were a lot of messages. Like, first of all, with Jeffrey Dahmer, I did not know that he only did it to black and brown, majority black and brown males, and gay and homosexual males.
Yeah, 14 of his victims were black.
Yeah, and I also did not know that he I also didn't know that the police were so passive about it for a whole fucking year. Year.
I mean, well, that doesn't surprise me. It's like, police are like that now, so it's like, I mean, they've always.
But the reason why it surprised me is because people were calling the police. Niecy Nash's character was consistently calling, which to me was still strange, because if someone's consistently calling and reporting an issue and you're not really going to investigate, that was just weird to me. the fact that there was another black male that went to the police and told what happened to him. They were passive about that because they said they didn't have enough evidence. When the one guy, Tracy, got away, went to the police, and they brought him back to the apartment.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of times back then in the 90s where...
70s? That was the 70s, wasn't it?
In the 70s
well,
and the 90s.
Yeah.
It was like late 80s, 90s. Okay, it was a space. Yeah, right.
Right. So from the 70s to the 90s, a lot of people didn't necessarily want to touch topics of homosexuality.
Right.
It was during a time also when AIDS was starting to be on the influx.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people were starting to believe that this is what homosexuals deserve to a certain degree. Not to the effect of like them being killed because they had no idea. Right.
Right.
But they didn't feel the need to go above and beyond to try and help them. Oh,
I never even thought about it like that.
At the time when it came to law enforcement, they were very much like, "Oh, this is just what they do. I don't know the situation, and
I don't get it. I don't understand it, so I'm going to remove myself from it." Right. I never thought about it like that.
And so, in terms, Jeffrey used that to his advantage when he would say certain things. That's like
kind of smart.
Gay stuff in here. You want to come and see it?
And they're like, nah, we good.
Hey, y'all have a good night. You know.
Damn.
So it was very much. He used that to his advantage, which is why he was able to get away with it for so long.
Oh my God! I never put that together, Ken.
Yeah, back then, nobody wanted to touch anything like
related to homosexuality. Yeah, you're right. You are right.
The right.
You know what?
On top of that, you're black too. So like,
yeah, on top of that, being black, you're right. You're right. You're right.
He was able to do it. That's where the themes and the messages started to come into it.
Right. And you know what? I just thought, do you think that was, oh man, it's kind of had me thinking he's on some intellectual shit, because do you think that was something that he just used to target for his killings because he knew he could get away with it? Do you really think he was gay?
No, I think he was gay. I think it was repressed. I think it was, we just got finished talking about incels, right?
Right.
We just got finished talking about someone who couldn't necessarily get it, but then I take that back, because he lured them in constantly
at the clubs.
You know what I mean? He had pull to a certain
right. He so did. He did have some damn pull.
I mean, with the exception of that. I mean, he drugged multiple people.
I mean, he was in the military, so he knew how to concoct certain chemicals and things of that nature.
Yes. So when you're talking about like, it was almost predatory in terms of how he used to do things, just because, like we saw with this first victim of that 14-year-old who was standing outside of the liquor store and being like to pounce on that. Let's not give too much away.
Oh yeah, we won't say too much. We won't.
Sorry.
Sorry, we don't want to spoil it for y'all, but y'all gotta watch it.
First of all,
I know.
What are we giving away?
I know.
I don't know. First of all, maybe no one has seen it yet, and like, oh shit. Thanks for letting me know he killed a 14-year-old. You don't know how someone could have took that or not.
This is yet another depiction of. This is probably the third or fourth depiction of the Dahmer story.
A lot of people know about it. They just haven't.
But a lot of people like myself haven't seen it. I've never even heard of this dude, so this is my first time seeing this shit. So I'm saying,
she said, guys, really. See, Tina said, guys, really, it is concluded.
It's concluded. Yeah, it's just one of those stories that you
he is dead, and we know all about it.
Not everyone knows about him, though.
It's not like a spoilery story.
Yeah, the only thing that we would be spoiling is the fact that how they depicted it in the series on the show.
Right. How they depicted it. Right.
But the generalities of everybody, that generality knew, I guess, his killings and murders. I didn't know specifics. Like, I didn't know it was just homosexual. I didn't.
I knew from a young age.
People do now.
It's all right.
From a young age, there's a film that was called Dahmer with Jeremy Renner played him, and it didn't depict it to this much detail,
right?
But it was very eye-opening.
Oh, ID channel. Yeah.
It was very eye-opening to be able to see this psyche and this mind.
That's what I was interested in, because everybody was like, when I was seeing a post, everyone's like, don't watch it, it's creepy, it's disturbing. That made me want to go watch it more. So I would watch it, and I was like, I'm more into the psychological part of it as well. That's how I was analyzing the series and just trying to understand.
I look at it as a tale of warning. We have a lot of people
who are still
using these apps to be able to visit people within their homes.
Yes.
And not knowing who these people are. And it happens still to this day. So it's still like a tale of warning, because anybody could be the wrong person. You have
I think that's a good way to put it too. If you do watch this, it'll make you be more aware too. Like, don't go places with people you meet at the clubs and the bars and things like that. Don't be getting on apps and linking up with random dudes or random chicks, because sometimes chicks be setting dudes up to get robbed and killed and all that.
Yeah.
So don't. I know everybody's looking for love, but this day and age, people are taking advantage. But the thing is, people are taking advantage of people that are looking for love and desperation and want to be with somebody so bad, and they will take advantage of you. And there's people out here that are ill-willed and will do some harm to you, and all you're looking for is love.
There are a lot of
you don't need to watch a Netflix show to know that.
Right.
There are a lot of wayward and lost people within this world, and a lot of people are being taken advantage of. There are people out there who don't have family to check up on them. Yeah. And so a lot of people are taking advantage of those situations. You have to be very, very careful of who you trust, because your head could end up in their fridge.
Right, for real. And that could be either what do you call it? That could be a real deal situation, like actually happen, or it could be something emotionally that can break you down. Right. So just be careful, what type of people, what type of entities, you don't know. You just don't know. You just really don't know. So you just got to really pay attention.
Yeah, because there's a lot of things that go on, and I don't want to give away too much, because I haven't even seen all of it, but I know the story very well, being a part of the LGBTQ community, and I found it very, very hard and triggering to watch, considering that I'm a gay Black male myself.
Right, I can imagine.
It was very tough to get through, to watch and place your feet in these gentlemen's shoes, and to know that could have been anyone. That could have been me. Remember, I told you, like, I had a situation where a guy was yelling at me, and I was 20 years old, living in California, and the only way to get home was by him. You know what I mean? So, like, a lot of people who lure people.
Yes. Yes. And there are some people that are like pros. They can pick you out of a crowd, and they will intentionally, like he said, they're lurking for your type.
Yeah.
And I wonder why he never targeted. Well, he did try. I think he did try to. Yeah, but does he? I wonder why he never had any female victims.
He wasn't checking for ladies.
Yeah, he was gay.
He was gay.
Okay. Yeah. But I mean, I get it.
Like, okay, like for me, right? Like,
but why murder what you like? I don't understand.
If you are,
he doesn't really.
If you are obsessed with the male anatomy as opposed to the female anatomy, right? He's not going to like. He was like dissecting and cutting up men's parts and bodies and things of that nature. He wasn't trying to do that to a woman because he's not
interested. It was no fascination,
woman, right? So,
gotcha.
For me,
gotcha.
Like how we talked about it. Like, I don't like breasts, and like I don't.
You don't like breasts?
No.
Really? You don't find them pretty?
No.
The thing that he's gay.
What the fuck? No. Hold on, wait. I know some. Hold on, wait. Hold on. I know some. There's some gay guys that find the female body very attractive.
Who love breasts.
Right.
Right.
That's not all of them now. There's some of them that want to play with them and everything now. Don't get it twisted.
They want to motorboat. They want to make out. They want to.
I know somebody that was like obsessed with like female vaginas, and he was gay. He just thought that the vagina was pretty, but he didn't want it. He don't touch it.
Can I play with your vagina? Oh, don't worry, girl. I'm gay. Don't even worry about it. I'm interested in the female body. Don't worry. I like this though. I'm so gay.